Hey everybody. So today I'm going to be going over a product that is my own creation, but is, I think, extremely useful. It's called Echoplex Graph. And so up front, how I created this, just a very unique approach is, when a new LLM models come out, I like to play around with them and ask them various questions. One of the various questions that I like to ask these models is for them to create a brand new and novel algorithm. It's just something that I found that's fun, leads me down rabbit holes, and they often create unique things. And then there's Llama 3.1 405B that's recently come out, and then so I had the chance to play around with that model, and then so I asked it the question to create a unique and novel algorithm, and then so it creates. We'll call it Echoplex version 1. In Echoplex version 1, it was 100% based off of chaos theory, and then so it implemented like some chaos theory and some math, and then it didn't utilize LLM models at all. But it was interesting because it mapped the patterns between words, essentially like what Echoplex does now. But I wanted to take that a step further, so I was like, that's an interesting concept. What if we essentially stripped out like the chaos theory? We don't need that, but we want to, and then instead let's put in an LLM model, and we want to map the patterns of the LLM model. And that's essentially what this does. And then so I have it here as a GitHub repository. It's released under MIT license. Anyone can use it. And this is the Google Colab that I utilized to play around with and to initially set this up. And then so this is a graph of the end result, right? And then so if we look back up here at the code, up here somewhere, what we can see is that the bottom line is that I give the model some sentences, right? So this is a sample text about machine learning and natural language processing. Machine learning is a field of study that focuses on the use of algorithms and statistical models to enable machines to perform a specific task, and natural language processing is a subfield of machine learning that deals with the interaction between computers and humans in natural language. And then the rest of it is essentially just having it map out the and graph the patterns between these words. And then so the highlight clusters isn't working as well as I would like it to. So this red, green, blue, yellow, and purple, when we go down to our graph, it's not working out. It's working out okay, somewhat, but I would like it to be better. And then I would really like it to have less words here in this beginning cluster and this middle cluster. But so what we're looking at here, this JSON, is actually what's really important here, right? And then so you look at the word machine, for example, and then it's weighting it as a 4 in this instance, but then you can see the connections that the LLM model has to machine. And then so machine learning, language, algorithms, processing, and models. It correlates all of those together. And then for learning, it correlates machine, language, natural, processing, computers, and human. For natural, language, processing, and learning. For language, natural, processing, machine learning, etc., right? And then there's even ones like for humans, for machines, etc. And then so you can see it's literally doing exactly what I wanted, and it's mapping out the correlations and the connections between words. And then so there's a connection in this instance between the word a and the word is, and then we can see there's a pretty strong connection between a and is, and I'm assuming that this strong connection is because these are both connector words, right? And then see, it's interesting how this is a deep dive into the mind of an LLM model. Essentially, it's kind of like what I have map this out and what I want it to function as, and how it functions as, right? Like it's a tool to understand the patterns and the relationships of data that LLM models are utilizing. So LLM models, they don't store data as data, right? They store it as and words. They store it as patterns and connections between the words. And then so this is the map in this instance of the patterns and connections between these words. And then so you can change the words, change the text, utilize different sentences, and get all kinds of feedback from the model. And then so in the code that we have here in the GitHub repository, you have to do I utilize in this instance OpenAI, and then it's the OpenAI model, so you have to input your OpenAI key. That's the only thing that you need to do to update the code. But other than that, you just run it, and then you can, and it utilizes ChatGPT 4.0 Mini, so it's really like less than a penny to run every time. And then you can swap this out for any model as well, any like 5.3, any open source model that you would like. But really cool tool. And so Echoplex Graph. I don't think that anyone's gonna like look at this repository just because of the name Echoplex Graph. And like I have a really simple README, right? And then so I don't often make videos on my repositories and like these kind of research releases that I make. But this is to me like interesting research release that it's Anthropic put out like kind of a similar release to this, but they didn't go fully into it, right, with their Golden Gate release. And then so to me, this is kind of just if you were interested in Golden Gate, this is step 2, like a step further to play around with the insights of an LLM model in this sense. So if you like, I'll leave a link to the GitHub in this video. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.